there guys, so I just thought it would be cool to make a video on some of the techniques that I employ in order to sort of mingle in the kind of organic portal personality type eco um, atmosphere. So obviously, like many of us have to go to work, and perhaps everyone we know in our real life is this organic portal type, or we're surrounded by them. So it's quite important to be able to blend yourself in to enter that other world that unfortunately we have to reside within in order just to survive in this material world. So like, unfortunately, one of the things I have to do is to go down to their level. So you have to try, and as much as you try to disconnect yourself from the memes, you have to try to, in a way, emphasize with the memes that they're trying to resonate at. So for instance, people at my workplace would be talking about politics quite a bit, and then you just say to them, oh, what party do you like, and why do you like them? They'll give you the reason for it, and then they might say, oh, well, this party is going to implement more welfare for the poor, or the disabled, or needy, or whatnot, based on, and like from a kind of objective moral standpoint, that aid has derived from theft from other people. So the aid itself has an immoral origin point. Therefore, the aid is it has no moral standing. But instead of saying that, you just say, oh, well, that's very good. Would you recommend voting for them? And you just gotta like cater for their needs, unfortunately, as much as it kills you inside in order to resonate on their level. You just gotta turn your consciousness down many times, turn the heat down a little bit for your internal flame. These organic portals are also quite antagonistic towards anything spiritual or anything that goes outside of the cultural operating system that they exist within. You got to keep everything between the lines. You got to just imagine what it's like for them. You got to not think so abstractly, not think outside of the box, but try to imagine what it's like to have that linear thinking that they have, and try to imagine, with the understanding that they simply take reality as it appears to them. You've got to try and put yourself into that frame of mind, and when you do that, it actually becomes quite easy to mingle among them, despite it being like horrendously painful to do so. Just don't allow them to infect your minds too much. I'd say that that's the key in order to maintain your level of gnosis. The execution of that gnosis is also the capacity to sympathize with the half-woke and be able to implant ideas of those who are capable of achieving gnosis, i.e. targeting the psychic such that they might become pneumatics at some point. But part of that does involve lowering down your consciousness into their domain. You've got to speak their language because they haven't put the effort in to speak your language, and we've got the upper hand here. So with the knowledge that we do have, we know that we need to go down to their level. Obviously with these organic portal types, the Hylics, the people of mud, there's if this organic portal thing is a real thing, there's no hope with them. They're just merely automatons. You know, I don't know if I'm completely convinced by such people existing that are just completely without imagination, without conscience, without the capacity for them to generate their own thoughts. I find that everyone I've had experience with uh, mostly has something that's unique to them. Um, that's just who I hang around with, but I definitely see loads of people who I don't interact with who seem kind of dead inside. You can almost can almost see it in their eyes. I'm not sure if any of you have noticed with these organic portal types that you can be talking to one of them and it's almost like they give you a deer in the headlights kind of look when you go outside of the operating system. It's kind of like they have this amorphous, glossy looked stare when they look at you, and you look into their pupils and there's doesn't seem to be any animate force behind it. It kind of feels very artificial and somewhat robotic, whereas when you look at someone who um, definitely has a spark within them, you can see that, I don't know, their eyes, it just has more glare to them. They have like a very it doesn't seem like their minds are amorphous like these organic portal types are. You know, these, for the organic portals, their minds are like sandcastles. They just shift and change with the current consensus reality, with the status quo. Whereas for people with souls, you can see that there's some eternal quality within them, and it's a very it's just something that I've noticed, but lots of people who I've spoken to about this subject either bring it up themselves or they actually uncannily like notice that this is a thing once I bring it up within them. Yeah, even my half woke friends, like they notice this and they don't really put the effort into to know what that feeling is within them, but there's definitely something in the eyes. Um, but yeah, generally, I don't put as much effort into those people. Like, I just say the bare minimum in order to get by. They can often tell that you have a somewhat of lack of knowledge with trivia. I mean, you have trivia TV shows, and it's called trivia for a reason. So you don't need to worry about those people. You just kind of get by the best way you can. Um, so yeah, you just got to go down to people's level, and if we have compassion for the psychics who are trying to who are people who do have the capacity to attain gnosis. So it's important for people like us to try and help these people out. The more people we can recruit onto our side, the better a chance we have of surviving here. Because I can't do this on my own. I'm just one person. That's kind of why I'm making these videos. People have got to start spreading this information, and like I said in the first video, we need to define nomenclature. We need to create language around this phenomena, because once the unconscious becomes conscious and is formalized in the ego by the expression of language, can we grapple with it when it shifts to the top of our awareness from the depths of the unconscious? If we can label it, then it no longer becomes unconscious and it becomes conscious. So yeah, I think that there's more things to say here, but I can't think of that right now. So they'll come soon. So, but I think I'll just leave the video here for now. If you disagree with me, or if you agree with me, if you have anything to add to this topic, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. Other than that, have a good day or night wherever you are. Adios, friends.